Adrian and Josie, I thought I'd just start with some photographs of the area. So the pool itself was obviously a problem now that it's shifted. I'm going to give you a couple of solutions here, cheap and expensive. I want to look at different fencing options. I want to use the areas where you're standing at the moment for a different purpose. This fence is great. Maybe soften it with some plantings. This fence at the back here, I think it's very ugly. The little retaining wall that's in front there is also, it's made out of timber construction. It's not great as a retaining wall, so I want to replace this. The fence along the back boundary there is okay. I don't personally like it, but I'm going to show you some options there and some rectification works. In front of the house, the tank is obviously going to go. We're going to fix up how that grass area connects to the house, new gate down the side, replumb, and move on from there. So here's my model of your existing space. Haven't spent too much time on it, but the pool, the paving, the astroturf, the retaining walls, the existing fence, and of course that precious lemon tree, which in all of my designs I'm going to have to move it. That very limited space that you've got at the back doors, I really want to change and alter that and step up onto the pool area. And then I want to show you some ideas about what I'm going to do to that fence along the boundary, because I think you've got those fantastic outlooks, and I want to talk to you about bladed fences and benefits of bladed fences. So here is the pool without doing too much work. New paving around it. I really want to get garden beds plants into your garden beds, change the planting, put down some new fresh synthetic lawn, a really nice modern version. Get some planting in there, and this is kind of the minimal that we would do around the pool. Keep the costs down. Here's a bladed fence, and now what I've done here is I've cut all of this out to the boundary, put a retaining wall along the boundary, put a bladed fence in along the boundary. And as we go through these drawings, what you'll see is that with the bladed fences, you get some privacy when you're from an angle, but you can look directly out. So I want to cut all of this out to the boundary. I want to pave it, and then I want to put some sort of shade structure over the top. I'm going to talk to you about different options there. And turn this into either a dining area or a sitting area. Steps up to the pool, new pool fence going across, because currently your doors open up into the pool fence area, so it's actually non-compliant anyway, so that all needs to be rectified. If we can get away with lifting that pool up cheaply and effectively, then that could be an option. So I've given you two options where we're going to work with the pool in its current location, but then I've given you two other options where I'm actually going to use the same pool, but I'm just going to shift it around. If we have to pull it out to level it, well then have a look at the options of pulling it out and actually repositioning it and repurposing the spaces. So that's option number one. So option number two, what I've done with that lawn area is I've replaced it with paving and put a couple of umbrellas up there. I want to try and screen off the fence and soften that down and cool it down. New planting. I would actually like to redo the retaining walls that are around the pool. New pool fencing. This is a bladed one. Now this is reasonably expensive compared to a cheaper tubular style of fencing. I've kept the original tin fence in along the boundary there because we did talk about the privacy between the pool and the paddock. All of this is new paving. The retaining wall pretty much from the corner of the house stays, and then I've given you a new barbecue, which is really just a direct line from the corner of the house perpendicular out to the boundary fence on the paddock there. This space can be multi-purpose. We can either turn it into a dining space or into a lounge space. The roof, I'm going to give you some different options on the roofing here. We can go, it's going to be skillion, it's going to be tilted, tin roof. The underside we can do a couple of different options there. So here I've just got it plastered in white. I really love the fact that we can still feed the horses. There's the bladed fence. Again, as I said before, at certain angles you can see through, at certain angles you can't. This is at 1.2 meters in height. It doesn't need to be of any particular height along here because it's not part of the pool fencing anymore. The pool fencing is now over near the pool. Here's the same roof with the retractable awning on top of it. This can be remote control, motorized, and so we can really just get lots of light and sunlight back into the space. But when it gets too hot, we can retract it. Now you can get different options. Some of them are completely waterproof. Some of them are just shade cloth material where you can't really sit out there in the rain. The water just comes straight through the material, the fabric. I do want to dress it up with pots and pot plants and colour, get some irrigation into each of these corners that we can then put drippers into the pots. Without the pots and without the planting, the space becomes a little bit too stark. Now, here's a slightly bigger version. I've turned the pool around. I think we lift it out, we redig, reposition it, line it up with that window there, and repurpose this space. So we're still going to use the same fiberglass pool, but if we're pulling it up anyway to fix the underside of it, let's reposition it. New roof line all the way across. The triangular piece is now on the paddock side, and what you can see with this bladed fence, I've taken this up to 1.8 meters in height because that's what we need to do as regulation. When you're looking into it directly, you can see in, but when you're looking at an angle, you can't see into the property. That back fence that I don't like, I want to retreat that. I want to get some trees down that boundary in front of the steel fencing and planting. Now I know you don't like doing too much maintenance, but if we can get the right plants in, then we can make it look nice and soft, inviting, and try and keep that maintenance down. So these are 2 skillion roofs. In this option here, I've given you solid roof. So it's a solid tin roof, and I've done the underside with a timber lining. So we can put lighting in here, we can put fans, we can put heating, we can put sound. We can turn this into a really, really good entertaining space. So what I've done here is the barbecue is in this little corner here. And this first space, I've turned that into a dining area. Again, cut all that ground out, taken it to the boundary, put a retaining wall along the boundary, put a dining table into this particular area. Then we go up a couple of steps to the pool area, and I've then repurposed that to a lounge space. Looking out from the house, go up those couple of steps into the new pool area, maintain those views out into the paddock, into those trees beyond, which I think is really good. And you can just see through the blades along the boundary there. You get some privacy. We can actually tighten up the spacing in the blades to give you more privacy in here. But I love having that view out to the to those trees and to the hills and into the horses. So new retaining wall all the way along there, and this is the new pool, well, the existing pool in its new position. The big members, beams and posts at the end of this structure, don't take them too literally. I was just playing around with how I'm going to support this roof. Now this is showing a solid roof. So the next option of this is the same sort of framework, but these are retractable awnings. So they can be obviously retracted and the space opens right up to being fully in the sun on those days and those times during the day that you want it, nice and warm. You can have them fully retracted, partially open, partially closed, that sort of thing. Remote control, obviously. So new paving around the pool up to the boundary, and the pool lines up to that window. The blinds can be housed at either end of this structure. I wanted to put them in the middle because I just didn't want them to live above the barbecue when it's getting all that smoke and causing sort of that greasy film on the fabric. Here is an option where the pool is again relocated, parallel with the side boundary. I've given you a big shade structure at the end of the pool to sit in. Put the new version of synthetic turf down in the remaining triangle. Bladed fence, again 1.8 because it's a boundary fence. I'm a little bit unclear as to what those regs are, but typically a pool fence along a boundary needs to be 1.8 metres in height. I don't think we can get away with 1.2 metres in height. It's 1.8 metres on your side, on the inside, so we may be able to include the 500mm drop as well. Bladed fence on the outside, again this could be anything. This can just be farm fencing, it could be any style of fencing you want here. I really like the idea that we can see through, we can still feed the horses. This has been purposed as a dining space. You can put the lounge furniture back in here. Steps up. That pool gate is in the corner. It swings off the corner of the house back towards the house. It's 2 metres from paving to the corner of the house, so not many people would hit their head on that. Synthetic lawn, sun lounges, and then I've really just turned the end of the pool into a bit of a seating nook. And the second half of this, I've put one of those roof structures back at the back of the back doors there. Could be solid, could be retractable.